Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to another episode. This is Wrestling Philosopher, and in today's episode, I will be reviewing the Batman and Robin Omnibus by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. This is not going to be a spoiler-free review, so I am going to have a lot of spoilers here because I want to review the book in all its glory, and because there are some downfalls to this omnibus, not the book itself, but the omnibus, which I would like to discuss. But if you are interested in this omnibus, I would highly recommend it for you to buy it. But the main thing you need to know is that it's really intertwined with the Batman by Grant Morrison run and the Batman by Scott Snyder run. So you should at least Wikipedia that if you truly want to enjoy this omnibus in all its glory. So with that out of the way, now let's talk about this omnibus. So this omnibus, as I said, contains the 20 through 22 of Batman and Robin, the first run by Grant Morrison. So the 3 issues which were written and drawn by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. Then 40 issues of the New 52 run plus issue 0. 3 annuals, and I think 2 short stories from Secret Origins and Detective Comics. One 23.1, the 0 issue, and I think that you also here have the Robin Rises Alpha and Omega one-shots. So, the main problem with this omnibus is if you do not know what happened in the Grant Morrison run and in the Scott Snyder run, you just can't enjoy this omnibus. First and foremost, of course, I mean, you get the hang of who the character of Damian is, but there are 3 events intertwined with this. So firstly, it starts with Dick Grayson as Batman, so that is after the final crisis, after Batman is dead, and then it starts New 52 when Batman, of course, has come back. We do not get any explanation how or what happened in that period of time. After that, we have 2 events. So first one is Night of the Owls, and the second one is Death of the Family. And there we have tie-ins to those 2 events, and we don't have any explanation, or again, how or what happened in those events. And the last thing, the death of Damian Wayne, which happened at Batman Incorporated issue 13, so that is, I think, the second run of the New 52 run. Again, we don't have any explanation. And that is the main problem, I think, with this omnibus, that they should just, I don't know, they could have just 1 page explaining the events of those books, how it happened, what has happened, because they referenced it in the book a lot. And if you don't know it, of course, I read the Snyder and Morrison runs on Batman, but if you don't know what happened in those events or those books, you just can't enjoy this again. With that out of the way, I think this is a hit or miss book for the most part. I mean, generally 2/3 of the book is just amazing. I mean, all of the issues, I think, which aren't annuals and tie-in issues to those events, which I have said, so Night of the Owls and Death of the Family, are good. I mean, there are some really good stories, such as the first one containing the Nobody story, again dealing with Batman's past and his training. And there are some, I think, the thing which I didn't like the most is the series of books, so the story arc bringing back Damian Wayne, how it all happened. I think it's so out there that I think it should be compared to books such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because in this one he goes to Apocalypse, fights Apocalypse to get Damian's body back. So there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm not gonna be talking about it all because there's a lot. And then he goes back, has this crystal, and he revives Damian, and Damian now has superpowers. And by the end of the run, he loses those superpowers, and there is no explanation or how or why he lost those powers, and why he has them in the first place. So no explanation at all, which I think is a little bit bullshit. But before that, I think the worst story arc here is the one containing Two-Face and those twin sisters. So it kind of gets the origin of Two-Face again, so Harvey, then how he became Two-Face. But I think he does it in not that great of a way. I mean, I think that in Jeff Loeb Team Sale stuff, that it has been represented really, really well. I don't know why they even would change it, but yeah. The best part of this book, I think, are the brands, so the story arc after the death of Damien, so that one issue where there is no text, so Bruce just how he reacts to the death of his son is just brilliant. I think it's one of the best single issues I have read in my whole life. And that's more or less that what I wanted to talk about. Artwork by Peter Gleason is just plain and simple amazing. I'm not gonna show you a little bit of that artwork. There are some other artists in this book, especially for annuals, I think, and stuff like that. But yeah, let me just find some page containing. The best thing about this book are, of course, the dialogues. So Peter J. Tomasi just nails it out there with his dialogues. He gave new life to characters such as, I don't know, Alfred and James Gordon and all of the Bat family, so Jason Todd, Tim Drake, how's it called, Dick Grayson, Batgirl. So as you can see here, this is some of the artwork we have in this book. So this is by Patrick Gleason. Really, really, really like this book. Alfred as well is one of the best characters in this book. I think his interaction with the Bat family as a whole is just amazing. He gave, of course, new life to, and there are a lot of other comic book characters appearing in this one. You have Wonder Woman, as you can see right here. So Superman appears here, Aquaman as well, Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, which I didn't know anything about this character, but I am now interested in reading his book because his representation here is just plain simple amazing. And the dialogues are the best part of the book. The whole story, I think, is a little bit hit or miss. So if you like the character of Batman and of course Damian Wayne Robin, and to see him evolve from like a brat at the beginning of this book to throughout the end where he is a Robin, I mean, and he acts like one. It's just, I think, a father and son book, which you don't see it quite often in superhero comic books. So you can see it, I mean, in independent books a lot, but in superhero comic books, it's just you don't see it quite often. I mean, Batman is a character in which you can relate because he is just a normal human being without superpowers, and him trying to protect his son from the evils of this world and all of the rogues gallery he has and all of the stuff that happens in Gotham from time to time. I mean, it's just good to see it. So if you are interested in this, I think this first edition, which I have here, is out of print currently, but they have announced solicited the second release, and I highly recommend you. So first, just read the Batman by Grant Morrison and Batman by Scott Snyder, also was announced as an omnibus, the Snyder one, and just go from there. Read this book. I mean, you are going to enjoy it if you like the Batman Robin by Grant Morrison. It's not as good as that, but I think it is really a good book, and in my opinion, the second best Batman book from the New 52 onward. So yeah, that's that, guys. I hope you like this video. So we will see you when WrestleCrate UK arrives. I think tomorrow. See you. Peace.